Okay, so Faultline. This is the new film from Anna Cooley, written by Kirsten Lankester. Right, the film is produced by Kirsten Lankester and Stacie Harrison, executive produced by Scott Lepp. Tyler Bragg took care of the music. Charles Hamilton is on cinematography. It's all edited by Jerry Skibinski with Jason Ferrin on casting. Production design is Mike Casper. Ben Warren is art direction with Leanne Smith on costume design. Hair and makeup, we've got Kate Panic, Chantel Capri, and Brittany Beyer. Our cast. Well, Stacie Harrison, along with executive producing, she is also one of the stars. She is Paige Tennant. Her sister is the writer and other producer, Kirsten Lankester. We've got Brennan Westlake, played by Stafford Perry. There's Scott Eastman, played by Jonathan Hawley Purvis. Warren McLaren is played by Daniel Libman. Joe Buchan is played by Joe Norman Shaw. Sophie Dale is played by Colette Nowaki. Chantel Van Erve is a young Paige. And Annabelle Beams is a young Jessie. Sarah Bannister is played by Chantel Perrin. Frank Garrity is played by Peter Skeggen. Linda Key plays Danny Wilson. Denise McMillan is played by Barbara Gates Wilson. Tom Jenkins is played by David Larennie. Lisa Maru plays Bonnie McKay. Eve Tennant, right, so Jessie and Paige's mum, is played by Julie Orton, and Darren McKay is played by Pradeep Singh Suk. Yeah, that's probably our main cast. The gist of things. A hardened corporate lawyer must reconnect with her estranged sister when a case exposes questions about the circumstances surrounding their mother's death 20 years earlier. So yes, it's a film, fueled by corporate intrigue, and it all leads back to a murder-suicide, right? As we start the film in 2003, and then we jump forward 20 years. So we do have just a few comments, right? Kirsten Lankester, she says this. At its core, Faultline explores how an unspeakable crime doesn't just impact the victim, but how its aftershocks have the power to destroy those left in its wake. And Stacie Harrison says, love triangles, trust issues, complex characters, and compelling twists are just some of the complements that will draw people into Faultline's mystery. Faultline is a gritty crime suspense film that aligns with the desires of modern audiences. Yeah. Also, Lisa Romanoff, who is the CEO of Vision Films, she said, Faultline features powerful women in powerful roles, but both on screen and behind the lens. Estranged sisters must work together to face dark family secrets, lies, and jealousy to uncover a mystery that's twists will keep you in suspense until the very end. And yes, you know, we've got a female lawyer, like how high-powered, knows her thing. And that's all well and good, you know. It's the, I believe it is the directorial debut, right, from Anna Cooley. And also the first thing written by Kirsten Lankester. So, you know, there's a kudos to that, right? Not everyone gets to make a film and get it out into the world, right? And, you know, you can look at this and be like, the fundamentals are solid. You know? It's the story that is a little bit iffy. Right? You probably look at this and see, back in the day, it would be a straight to video, straight to DVD affair. Because it's just full of like conveniences, right? Like at the very beginning, you know, you've got there's this murder suicide. The police are investigating, you know, they've got the mother's daughters in the waiting room. And then you've got these cops talking about this horrendous scene, door open, with the girl sitting right outside. And it's you know, there's glass windows. It's a glass windowed room. So it's not like they can't see the girl sitting there, because they're basically staring right at them. So it's just kind of like, are we really believing that they're that incompetent that they didn't shut the door? You know what I mean? Like, you kind of could feel that it's glass windows. So you could be like, doors shut and the girl's lip read what was maybe said. That, you could be like, yeah, I get that. But to be like, the door wide open, you're just like, come on. Really? Really? And so it just goes from there, right? It's just this whole, you know, like this merger thing going on. And Paige, you know, it's where Paige grew up, you know what I mean? And she's just like, oh, I've got a personal history with the CEO. It's not really a personal history. The guy came to the funeral. That's basically it, right? They're not hanging out, regular phone call, anything like that. But it's just one of these weird things, you know, the whole running away from your past. I mean, the mum's dead, right? The mum's dead, caught up in this potential affair, murder, suicide. So you would understand someone not wanting to be there. But it's just one of these ones where, you know, people resent the fact that someone left. Be like, oh, you ran away. You know, it's just like, I mean, surely anyone with half a brain cell would understand why someone wouldn't want to be there, right? Like, you don't have to be fully grown to understand that. So it's just these things that are just, they're just these tropes that get rolled out time and time again. You know, just, there was a similar thing in that Lindsay Lohan Christmas rom-com on Netflix that we looked at the other week, right? Where, you know, she leaves because her mum died. And you're just like, yeah, of course. But it's just like, you ran away. And you, oh, God. Then you have people with no training on, investigating crime, but they're able to uncover all of this stuff. And you just like, really? Really? We have this weird thing with one of the police officers who then accuses this other officer of being shit. But it's out of the blue because we haven't met this other officer. So it just feels like this weird thing just thrown out there. You know what I mean? Like, wait, where did that come from? Like, it's trying to add tension where there's not really anything. And it doesn't really need to be anything either. Right? We, they mention a love triangle. The love triangle is just, exactly the fact that it's coming, right? And you know exactly how it's all going to turn out. But you're just like, are we really doing this? So the thing with this film, it's very predictable, and it's not by any means the worst thing you will ever have seen. No, it's not. But it's just kind of played out, right? We've seen it a million times. And the funny thing is, it's just like they mentioned that this is a story modern audiences want. And you're just like, when you look at all the true crime documentaries and other things that are out there, I feel we've grown to realize a bit more nuance from the shows that really catch fire, from the ones that win awards. They've kind of moved away from these easy by numbers plots. You know what I mean? That's the sense that I get. Like, these kind of things aren't necessarily my cup of tea. It's not what I would gravitate to, but it's not to say there's not a place for them. We don't necessarily have any chemistry from our cast, right? I don't think you buy Paige and Jessie as sisters, right? Brennan being a past flame and love interest, right? You've got this weird dynamic with Scott, the other VP in the law firm, right? It's all a bit weird. Doesn't really work. Then you've just got, the coal company, right? Where the people there doesn't really feel very corporate, doesn't feel very professional, right? Then there's a scene where two of the characters are about to get it on. Then they're like, the phone goes and it's just like, oh, someone's coming over. And we move, like the lighting and everything like that suddenly completely changes. And instead of feeling like a home, it feels like it's an office. It's a very bizarre transition of scene when essentially they're in the same location. There's just a lot of that happening in Faultline, which, I don't know. It is what it is, right? I think it's great, having women in films, directing, producing, writing, having these opportunities. You know what I mean? Just opening things up is always a good look. But it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get great content. And that's it, right? That's all. You just want a great story. Great story, great direction, great acting. That's what everyone just wants, so they can really invest in something. Now, Faultline might not be my cup of tea, but as I said, if you like the kind of, B-movie fare, right? If you like that easy, storyline, which you don't have to think about too much. It's not overly taxing. You know what I mean? Like, you enjoy that kind of stuff. Then, yeah, Faultline will be all you. You know what I mean? That will completely work. So it is out now on all your favorite VODs. We'll have the links on the website if you want to go check it out. So yeah, Faultline.